Hello and welcome to this Detour episode of the Mini Indie Van. I am here with Seth, and today we are going to be talking about some Steam Next Fest demos that we have been playing during the February Steam Next Fest. But before we jump into that, how you going, Seth?
Doing well, Fulya. Good evening to you. Good morning to me.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this. I'm always excited. You and I feel like are kind of, well, I guess Fee to a certain extent too, and maybe a little bit of Lockleth. But I feel like you and I are the real indie game sickos.
Yeah.
Of carpool gaming.
Absolutely.
So it's always a treat to come on the indie game podcast. This is the carpool gaming podcast that I wish I was doing because I just love indie games so much. And
well, you're more than welcome here.
Oh, you're more than welcome here. Yeah, yes. I love listening. I love I love the topics and stuff. And I've been here before, but it's good to be back. And there's a lot of good demos to talk about, so I'm excited.
Oh boy, are there! Woo! All right, before we jump into the actual main topic, which is the Steam Next Fest demos that we played during that event, I wanna get a head count. How many demos did you end up playing?
Oh God, I think I played 21 demos. I think that's what I wound up with. Yeah,
21. Nicely done.
Yeah.
You beat me by one demo.
Oh, you did 20? Yeah.
I did 20.
That's funny. Yeah.
Although I will say this. Some of the demos that are in this list of mine were from just before the festival had begun.
Same. Yeah, same.
And I was like, well, it's part of the event anyway, so I'm going to include it. So.
Right. Yeah, a lot of folks will kind of like put their demos live, a few days early, and a lot of people leave their demos running too. Like there are a lot of people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We still got our demos going, so
it's like why not?
Yeah, it's good for them. Yeah. Like there are people who don't have the time, even though Steam Next Fest goes on for a week. Like sometimes people can't find the time to jump in there during the week, so it's a good move. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. How were the genres? Were there like a variety of genres you played? Yeah. Did you play were you heavy-handed on one particular genre?
Fulya, this probably is pretty apparent by interacting with me for a few years now. I have a very eclectic taste.
Yes.
In pretty much everything from, music to, movies, TV to video games. I have a very eclectic taste, so I don't really have like a go-to genre with these, although I feel like I played a fair bit of platformers, I guess, but for the most part, like if something just looked cool, I played it, to be honest. Yeah.
Awesome. I'd say for me, mine are mostly not in terms of their genre, but in terms of their style, very cozy looking.
Sure, yeah.
Very cozy and wholesome looking. But that doesn't mean I didn't go out of my way to play, a few other games that aren't so cozy. I mean, it's mostly cozy. I will
sure
put that out there. Just in various genres.
I'll bring the balance because I would be surprised if any of the games that I have brought here today wind up getting the koala seal of approval. I don't know if any of these are koala games, but I liked them.
We might have played a couple of demos that we both have played. So whether we mention it or not is going to be another thing, but we'll see.
Right.
But with that being said, how about we dive straight into it? We're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite demos that we played during Steam Next Fest. And depending on time, we might shout out a few at the end for some honourable mentions. So let's just get straight into it. Seth, give us your first demo that you played.
Okay. My number 5, I want to shout out a game called Titanium Court. Which is published by Fellow Traveler. It just says soon. It's coming in early 2026. We don't know the exact release date, but it's developed by somebody named AP Thompson. It's a solo dev kind of thing. And from what I was reading, AP Thompson, I guess, kind of works on almost like a contractor basis on other indie games. Most recently, they worked on that game Consume Me that came out last year. And I never played Consume Me, but I was interested in this. Just I was hearing so many people talk about it, and this game kind of defies explanation. Just watching this trailer here, you're gonna have no idea what you're looking at. It's a pretty wild game. The setup of it is almost like a weird like stage play or something, but it's kind of in the true like anime manga sense in isekai, where you play as like an understudy for like a theater troupe, and next thing you know, you're waking up in this like fantasy world of like fairies and stuff, and you find out really quickly that you're the queen of the fairies, and you have to lead your fairy people in war and kind of like save them from attackers and stuff. And what winds up happening is it's like a mix of match 3 puzzle game and also like real-time strategy, like tower defense, because I know it's a weird combo. It's interesting. Like the way that it's set up, the battles happen in like 2 phases where you see right now that there's like a high tide and a low tide. During the I think it's the low tide, it's like a match 3 game where all of those symbols on the tiled like battlefield, like that is where the battle's taking place. And you're moving the tiles to kind of determine how in the next phase the battlefield will be when you go to actually start fighting. So if I move and I match like 3 enemies, that's one less group of enemies I have to fight. If I move and I match 3, whatever, water, then that river is gone and people can pass more easily, stuff like that. And, if I can kind of set things up correctly with the match 3 gameplay, when the actual like battle phase begins, I can get myself into a situation where I have like rock tiles around me that can act as like almost like a little shield. I can have wheat tiles near me for like my people to go and farm and get food and resources. It's really weird and interesting. Like, it's the kind of game that when I saw the trailer, I didn't know how I was going to find it, but as I kind of like really got into it, I was like, I dig this. This is kind of like a cool, weird little thing that kind of works more than it should. And it also just has this totally surreal, like Monty Python kind of sense of humor. It's very like surrealist. It's very like kind of David Lynch. Like, it doesn't really explain itself at all. It's just kind of like a weird, wacky thing. I thought it was really cool. I'm excited to play the full thing, and Fellow Traveler has kind of slowly become one of those publishers where like I like anything they publish is good. Like I like everything they put out. I
agree.
And
yeah.
So yeah, when I saw this come through from them, I was like, well, I'm immediately interested just because they're involved. So
yeah, absolutely. I've recently been hearing a lot of talk about Titanium Court. I had no idea. This was not on my radar at all. I had no clue what to expect from this when you mentioned it, and from where I've been hearing it. And I hadn't really like delved into it at all, aside from hearing about it. But it sounds like this might be like if it is released this year, it sounds like it might be a contender for like Game of the Year. Well, maybe not necessarily. It might be Indie Game Awards for sure.
Right. Yes,
I would say.
It has that vibe. Like every now and then there'll be a little sleeper game like this that kind of sneaks through, and you hear like the real heads kind of talking about it. And I think totally. I think this is like pure Indie Game Awards fodder. Like you'll definitely see this, I think, crop up. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think so too. And I'm a huge fan of Fellow Traveler as a publisher as well. So I'm curious to see more about this. Maybe if the demo is still live, maybe I should check it out. Although I'm not huge on the tower defense side of things.
Yeah, it's interesting because you don't have to like the strategy element of it really comes in from like the match 3 portion. Like whenever you and like begin the battle, it kind of like auto plays it. Like you don't really have to engage in it too much. So I'd be curious. You should, like, if you're interested, give it a shot. You might be surprised might be surprised by it.
I'm also like, I love the look of this game because just this, it's got like a really apparent color scheme.
Yeah.
And it's just with the pinks and the navy blues and the yellows. And it's very nice and like visually appealing.
I like it too. I don't think that visual style will be for everyone, but I'm with you. Like I think it's a very cool look. Like it has that kind of like retro, like pixel art kind of look, but you're right. It kind of like, you know, is one of those games that like sets itself to whatever 5-6 colors and like sticks with it. I like that.
Yeah, it works very well for the game, I think. Yeah, I might have to check out that demo if it's still alive.
Yes.
Oh boy, Titanium Court. All right, well, to start me off with my mini cozy games that I went through, I'm gonna shout out to start off with Fishbowl. Now, Fishbowl is the game that I actually played when it was first announced. And the demo was available on PlayStation. So I played it, the first demo they had, I played on the PlayStation. This time around, they mentioned that they've updated the demo, they've added more content to it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it another shot and see how I go with it. Although I was already convinced from the first time I played the demo. But I thought, you know what, I'm curious to see what else I'm going to see. So I ended up jumping into the Fishbowl demo, and I love this look of this game so much.
Yeah, me too.
It looks so pretty. The pixel art is really nice. And it's a story about being in lockdown, you know, and you're working from home, but you're also going through, the character is going through a grieving stage because her grandmother had passed away, and her mum are trying to sort of go through some of her things and her mum wants to move forward, but Arlo is our character here that you play as. She hasn't gotten there yet. She wants to keep the stuff. But yeah, in the demo, like there's like a lot of video chats that happen. Yeah. And there's also, little mini game tasks that you have to do, which are also quite fun. But it's just narratively, I think this is going to be emotional. It's going to probably make me cry.
Oh yeah.
I can already see it happening. And yeah, and the art style is just beautiful. I love the look of this game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we're watching the trailer right now, and I all the backgrounds are so good. This is also one of the ones that I played. Didn't make my list, so I'm glad that you're shouting it out. But I do like that, like, some of the characters like have very clear, like, kind of like gamer backgrounds and stuff, and like it does feel pretty true. And I even like the way that the game kind of like illustrates kind of going through the day to day and like maintaining the things in your personal life, but also deciding how you want to spend your days in lockdown. And I also think that like the title is very evocative. Fishbowl. Like we were all kind of living in little fish bowls, yes. like stuck in our apartments, houses, whatever. That is how it felt. And it ends up being a pretty smart thing from a game design perspective because, it's taking place like in lockdown. They can kind of focus on, these mini games and things versus having to worry about you going to a bunch of different locations in the game or something. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very neat. And it comes out soon, doesn't it? Fishbowl?
It does, yeah. The other thing I will mention is there's the Fishbowl. It also refers to an actual toy, like a childhood toy that Arlo had. And it's kind of like a sentient toy that talks to her. And you get like flashbacks of Arlo with her grandmother in this game. And it's really sweet, but it's also got some really, very sort of emotional moments as well.
Yes.
when you see these flashbacks. So yeah, I am very keen to play this game now. I've met and spoken with the developers at a PAX, not last year, maybe the year before.
Cool.
And they're really nice people, very sweet. And you can tell that they're very passionate about the game itself as well.
I love that.
And the work that they're putting into it is it's really, really amazing to see. And yeah, it's a small team. I think it's like a few people in the dev team. But yeah, this is being published by Wholesome Games.
Right.
Or I should say Wholesome Presents, actually. So yeah, this is going to be a game that is definitely worth checking out. And yeah, coming very soon.
April 2nd. I just looked it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
2nd of April. On PlayStation and PC.
I think Switch also. I think it might also be coming to Switch. Yeah. Nice.
So
yeah, that's
can't wait.
That is definitely on my list of stuff I wanna check out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Seth, give us your second demo.
My number 4 is a game called Croak, which is one of the games that I played on stream. Actually, the rest of my games are all games that I ended up playing on stream, which is funny. Croak is like it's a platformer, but it's interesting. Like mechanically, it's a froggy platformer. You play as the literal frog prince. And it kind of works similarly to like a Celeste. Like it's very challenging. You're going to die a bunch in a game like this. But the mechanic, the sort of core mechanics of the game are really interesting and unlike a lot of other platformers that I've played where, yeah, you're this frog, but like your momentum is based on your tongue. Like you shoot out your tongue and use it to latch on to walls and stuff and kind of propel yourself forwards or backwards. And you kind of like momentum really is the name of the game. Like you're using it to kind of pinball off of different walls and environments and stuff. And kind of in the trailer you're seeing now, like kind of solving these little almost like platforming puzzles, doing boss fights and stuff. It's just really clever.
Is a boss.
Yes. And like you have to like bonk it on the nose. Like it was kind of funny, like kind of figuring out how to fight that boss in the demo. A lot of the stuff you're seeing here is in the demo, actually. It's
That's
just really
crazy.
Yeah, it feels really good to play if you like these kind of challenging platformers, which I very much do. Like I'm the type of person, I will sit there and anybody who knows me knows like my neon white obsession. I'll replay levels over and over and over again until I get like the timing down right, how I want it and stuff. And this game definitely scratches that itch, but it also does that Celeste thing where every few screens or something, there'll be like a hidden coin off to the side, and you have to like grab it and land safely for it to collect, just like the strawberries in Celeste. So yeah, I really, this was one of those where I was like, within 5 minutes of playing it, I was like, well, I'm going to love this game, obviously. Like, like this, I'm a total mark for stuff like this. And I really enjoyed the demo, and I don't think this has a release date, but I hope they get it out sometime this year. I think that like the art being as beautiful and like hand-drawn as it is obviously very laborious. So I don't know how far along they are, but I can't wait. I thought it was really, really good.
Man, as soon as I saw the platforming, I was like, oh,
nope.
no. No,
I'm out.
That's not for me.
Yeah. Very fast-paced,
seems,
very...
Yeah. Looks tough.
It is. Oh, yeah, it's tough. And you know what's funny? Like, I streamed this on my YouTube channel, and I, like, the first, like, level or so, I was like, oh, well... because they track you a few different ways. At the end, you're graded at the end of every level of like, how quickly did you get through it? How many of the hidden coins did you find? Blah, blah, blah. But also how many deaths did you take in the level?
Oh, no.
And the first stage, I was like, oh, well, this is fine. Like, I think I took, maybe 10 deaths or something. Not a big deal. By the time I got to stage 2 and I started going out of my way for some of like the little hidden rooms and objectives, and I just was bleeding like 55 deaths. Just, I was like, yeah, this is definitely tapping into that Celeste Super Meat Boy kind of thing. Like, I'm in. Yeah.
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 Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it at least.
Yeah, not a koala game. Yeah, not a koala.
No, not a koala game. But I will say I can definitely see the Celeste vibes that you get from this game, and the art style looks very cool as well. So again, like they also had another color scheme kind of a thing happening with their art style. So I kind of like it when devs do that. They kind of stick to a certain palette of colors.
Yeah.
And then they work with it.
This is Woodrunner Games, who is developing and self-publishing. From what I was reading, these people have like a background. Like I think a lot of them worked on like the Cuphead show, the animated Cuphead show. And Rick and Morty also. Like they have like a strong like animation background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense now. Looks really good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, with me, the next game I want to shout out here is for we'll say it's like a bit of a cozy, wholesome survival game.
Okay.
And you have a van.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about Outbound.
Also out pretty soon, I think. They just announced it was coming to Switch and stuff. So
Yeah, so Outbound is this really cool survival game, but it's very cozy where you have a little sort of like a combi van and you go for a drive. And you just have to survive, essentially. You're going camping is what this is. It's just like going out camping, finding materials and resources, cleaning up the environment, fixing things, and then making your van your home away from home. And the demo was probably about, how long was the demo, if I'm not mistaken? Outbound, it was about a little over 90 minutes and I played all of it.
Nice. Okay.
I was obsessed with the exploration side of it.
I love that.
Trying to find blueprints to upgrade my van so that I can add more like things that'll help me create to chop down wood and make them into planks. You collect bottle caps and it's kind of like a bit of a currency. So you can use that to gain little gotchas and you can have like little ornaments on your dashboard of your van. And it's really cool. The demo didn't get as far as getting a pet. So I didn't get the opportunity to find the dog side of things. Would have been nice if they did, because that actually kind of intrigued me a bit more. But I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't like survival games when there's a lot of stress involved and it's time constraints and all that sort of stuff. But when it's something like this where you take your time, you go at your own pace, and you just enjoy the environment that you're in, trying to find and collect things, and it's, for whatever reason, I end up sinking so much time into it, and then all of a sudden, it's like it's been an hour and a half.
I love that. It looks cool. Yeah. This was one I think when we did Campfire. Shout out to Campfire on patreon.com/carpoolgaming. You and I were on the last episode of Campfire together, and I think this is one of the demos that you put on my radar. I did not wind up playing it, but I know the game is out. It comes out April 23rd, so this is another one that's like right around the corner. So I may just hold off and check out the full release when that comes out. It looks really neat.
Yeah.
And also, you had to have the van thing here on Mini Indie Van.
Absolutely.
You had to have, those vibes.
That was a mini van. All I had to do was add some indie games in there.
That's right. I love that.
Yeah, no, it also kind of reminded me of another demo I played. I think it was like maybe last year, Solarpunk.
Okay.
That one, you're essentially just on an island and you go out and do sort of similar things where you're sort of building up your own farm or your own home on this place, but you have to go and search for your own resources and materials to build up and grow your own crops and stuff like that. Whereas this one is your home comes with you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks cute. It's very colorful. Like everything looks so vibrant and stuff like that. I really like the art of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there were things that I noticed when I was playing the demo. You'll come across places where it looks like it's been either inhabited or this is where other people have done their own camping and stuff like that. There's like tree houses as well that you can climb up to, and they leave like little notes and stuff lying around. So there's like a little bit of like
lore.
Random lore going around in this game. So I kind of like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about where this is all going.
Let's go.
The other cool thing is you go around lighting up campfires, and those campfires are sort of like your save points.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, as you go along. So yeah, it's really good. I like it.
There's a crossover between Mini Indie Van and Campfire is what you're saying.
Exactly.
We just need a little Bobby that you can put on the dashboard there. That'd be good.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good
Love
game.
that.
Outbound. Go check it out. Cool. Seth, your number 3 demo.
My number 3 is one that I know that you played this demo also. I don't know if it made your list or not, but my number 3 is The Eternal Life of Goldman.
It is definitely on my list.
Okay, nice. Okay, I wasn't sure. I knew, like, it was one of those games that I knew that you would vibe with, like, the art and even kind of weirdly the story. Playing this demo, I did not think there was going to be this kind of like story to it. But I didn't know how much you were going to vibe with the actual gameplay of it, because it is like another kind of platformer, I guess kind of Metroidvania also, but it's a lot more like open than that. You go to these different locations and stuff. But I was just so charmed by, like, this is just one of the most beautiful looking games I've ever played.
Right?
Like, it's so gorgeous. Like the hand-drawn animation, like it has those Studio Ghibli vibes, but even just the framing of things, the use of the foreground and the background, it's just a breathtaking game to look at. Like, I was just stunned by the look of this game the whole time. But the thing that really got me playing the demo, and the demo is also long. I did not complete the demo. Like, I played it for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And eventually I was like, I'm just going to stop here,
Yeah.
But man, like, the story was really surprising to me. It really kind of like hooked me, because it's kind of got this Princess Bride kind of energy to it, where it seems like they're kind of like this. There's this meta narrative of this mother and her son in the hospital. Like the son is like very clearly like sick and in hospital, and The Eternal Life of Goldman is like a story that she's telling to her son. And so, like, every now and then you'll be playing the game and there will be these little sort of interstitials where they're talking about like real things happening in their lives. And I was very surprised by that. I did not expect that to be a thing in this game at all. And that was really, I was like, oh man, is this gonna like make me cry or something? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
And it was neat. Like, and I really do like that mechanic of Goldman having like his cane that you're like swapping out the parts of sort of on the fly to solve various situations. I was just really impressed. This was one where I played that demo and I was like, well, this is obviously like a day one for me now. Like, I'm in. I got to see what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to jump off right off your comments about this game as well, because this is also in my top 5 list, and I honestly wasn't sure whether I would enjoy it either, but I, like you, was just very, impressed by the look of the art style for this game.
Yeah.
And I thought, even though it said it's kind of like a Metroidvania platformer kind of thing, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it a go and see how I feel, because there have been other like 2D platformers that I have come across that I've surprisingly enjoyed. So when I jumped into The Eternal Life of Goldman, like the tutorial was actually, really, very beginner friendly. It sort of goes through everything for you. But I was just so impressed just by looking at this game and how gorgeous it looks. Like there are some things in here that do get a little grotesque at points.
Yeah,
like some of the bosses and stuff. But it's not like that terrible, I guess. It's very stylized. But I agree with the whole, it kind of looks very Studio Ghibli.
Yes.
And that is definitely my vibe. I love that sort of thing when it comes to the games. I feel like there is a bit of an emotional story to this. Like I feel like maybe the story of Goldman, this old man that you're playing as, and then we're having this, this mother and child like storytelling narration thing happening, and there are points where you find, I think that the child might be in hospital.
Yeah, it seems that way.
They might be sick, and they're going through like symptoms or side effects to medication that they're taking.
Yeah.
And it sort of tells you in this story as well as you progress. I love the NPCs that you come across. They're all really cool looking, and some of them have a bit of sass to them. And
oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. I was just out of nowhere. I played this offline. I didn't stream this demo, but I just like out of nowhere just wanted to read it out loud. And as I was doing that, I was putting on voices for these characters when I was reading the dialogue.
Nice. I love that.
And it was very enjoyable. And I can definitely see where a lot of these characters kind of, just by reading the dialogue, you could sort of just like jump into that voice somehow. And it kind of works.
Yeah. No, I really, there are a lot of NPCs, a lot of people to talk to. I'm really curious, like, I'm just so intrigued by like the story of it, because there's a moment that really, like, again, I was like, man, is this game gonna like get me emotionally? The kid is talking to the mom about overhearing like conversations happening with the nurses, like about like how they're what the burden of their life must be like and stuff. And I was like, man, like, I don't know, it's very it's just very interesting, and I'm also just kind of like curious what the relationship is between Goldman, the character, and this mother and child, because the mother is very like she at a certain point she's like, oh no, like Goldman doesn't do that. He wouldn't say that. He didn't. So I'm like, is the mother like an author and this is like a storybook character that she made up or something, or is this based on like somebody in their real life? Like is Goldman like her father or the kid's grandfather or something like that? I'm going to be really curious to see like what they kind of do with the story of this, and kind of see how like the Goldman character and that relationship kind of, who is he? Like who is this like old dude, Yeah,
and, absolutely.
I love to quick shout out any game that has like an old person protagonist, an elderly protagonist. I love that. Coven of the Chickenfoot also, I'm like, yes, more old people protagonists, please.
Yeah. That looks so good. And I like you mentioned the use of the foreground and the background kind of style. I love that they did this in this game. It kind of immerses you into the world a little bit more, because there's more happening like in the foreground, and then the midground is where you're playing, and then there's stuff happening in the background as well. So
Right.
it's like, it's not too overwhelming where it's taking your attention away. It's just there, and it looks so pretty. And I agree with you. Old people as the protagonist is
Yes.
awesome.
It's so good. I just want to play as this old man with his cane. You got a little bit of like DuckTales, Shovel Knight action going on with the pogo. Like, yeah, I'm all about it. I can't wait.
I've not played, DuckTales or anything like that. I haven't even played Hollow Knight, to be honest. So, for this to intrigue me more than a Hollow Knight has, I'm really curious to see how much more difficult the platforming is going to get in this game, because you only get you get a little taste of it,
Right.
you don't get much. But I love the aspect that you can change the elements on your cane, and that'll help you platform differently, or it has different uses. The fact that you can do it on the fly as you're going, and you need to do it because there are certain areas that you need a certain part of your cane to change in order to, get to the next area. So I kind of like that.
Me too. Yeah, I'm just excited to just see even just more. I just want to visually, I want to see every frame of animation in this game. It's so beautiful.
Absolutely.
It really is just one of the prettiest games I've ever seen. I just love the way the game looks. Yeah.
Yep. So looking forward to it. Well, we're just going to jump straight into your next one.
Oh, okay.
What is your next demo you've played?
My next one, so I guess this would be my number 2. A lot of people might be surprised that this was not my number 1. But my number 2 is actually going to be Denshattack.
Denshattack, okay, yep.
Which this is anybody that knows me and the types of games that I typically go for. Denshattack just has Seth written all over it. Like this is just a Seth game through and through. Denshattack is the game that if anybody's heard of it, this is like the Tony Hawk but with a train, kind of game essentially. Very colorful, very vibrant, very anime, and I just loved everything this game is doing is it's so over the top, it's so colorful, it's just popping and vibrant, but the gameplay of it is way more involved than I was expecting. Watching trailers, I didn't really know how it was going to feel to play, but they have made a good feeling trick-based kind of almost auto runner thing where it's all about figuring out the way to navigate through the stages accurately, pick up the collectibles, do the little challenges, all the while performing tricks where you can and building up a high score and getting more speed. We're watching a trailer right now, and it even seems like the game's gonna have these crazy boss fights and set piece sequences. I loved it. I was picking up everything this demo was putting down, getting to unlock new skins for my train and stuff. I'm yeah, man, this was just, I was completely sold on this. This is another one. Within a few minutes of playing it, I was there's no question that I'm playing this day one. I am so happy that it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2. That they opened the Indie World Showcase with that, and I was over the moon. I was I'm done.
Your reaction was gold.
I was yep, I'm done. You don't have to announce anything else. I'm happy. June 17th.
End the direct
coming
here.
out. End it here. I'm good. And I played the demo not only on PC, but before it was even announced for Switch 2. And I also played the demo on Switch 2 because they shadow dropped that, and it looks and runs great on the Switch 2. I cannot wait to get this thing. And it's another one. It has that replay the levels, get the best times. It's got that whole thing going on. So that's just a cheat code to get me interested. Yeah.
Well, they said it was also kind of inspired by Jet Set Radio.
Very much.
And so I can, not that I've played it, but I have seen gameplay of it, and I can definitely see that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I also played the demo to this because I was curious, and I wanted to know what everybody was getting excited about with this game.
Yeah.
I can see how this is definitely a Seth game. There's a lot of like very neon white-ish in a way too. From what I felt when playing the demo. It was fun, very fast paced, but you also like you really need to be focused in on what you're doing. You need to make sure that you're, performing all these different tricks as you're in the air. I love that you can also like change the skin of the train.
Yeah, I love
as well.
That. Yep.
So that's pretty cool. I will say it's a really cool art style. I love the art style of it, the whole anime aspect of it all. And you're just sort of traversing these worlds in a train. Like, how cool is that?
She's like a ramen. She does like ramen delivery in a train deliveries. Or something. Yeah, which is very funny. Like I don't know, man. Like, yeah, this game just had my number right away. Like, yeah, and Jet Set Radio is another one of my favorite franchises, and it definitely has that vibe. The music is very Jet Set Radio. Yeah, I am just all about this. Cannot wait.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to play it. Like, I'm probably not going to be playing it myself. Just from playing it through, I felt like it was good, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not a me game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay, because the next game I'm going to mention from the demos that I played is for another kind of. It's more like a bit of a life farming sim kind of a thing.
Okay.
And it's Collector's Cove.
Nice.
Now, this one, I didn't actually get a chance to play the demo when the first time around, when it was like first announced. But this time around, when I saw that there was going to be a demo for it during Steam Next Fest, I thought immediately, I need to jump on this. I need to check this out. I want to see if it's for me, if it's something I am interested in. Just by looking at like the thumbnail, the actual game thumbnail itself looks so adorable. You've got a little dinosaur that has a boat on its back. And you go around from island to island finding materials and resources, and you're building up your own, like, I don't know, kind of like a farmer's market of a boat with all these crops and
on the back of like this big like Loch Ness monster kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very cutesy. There's a character creator, which I love. You can even customize your dinosaur.
That rules.
Which is so cute. Obviously, immediately I went for the blue colors. But there's also like patterns to them as well. And it's just really, really adorable. I think I played through the whole demo, and that demo was about 2 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like, it goes through the basics on how to kit out your boat and how to grow crops on your boat and how to build, items and furniture and stuff like that to customize it the way you want to. And then you find this, and you go to be able to do all that. The person who's giving you this tutorial is this one bearded man who has his own boat, and he has his
it's me.
Yeah, it could be. It's Seth. He has his own boat that's decked out with shops, and each one of those shops is for different things that you can buy, or you can do trades. But it's the same guy, even though technically it's not the same guy.
Okay.
Because he
got
goes
like a
in and
Grunkle
out.
Stan kind of thing going on.
Yeah, it's like you go to one store and he's there and you do your purchases and buys and whatever. But then when you move away, you go to the next store, you see him go into the background and then come back into the next store and he's changed.
Okay.
And then he does it again for the third one as well. And I'm thinking to myself, that's got to be the same guy. But each one of those characters has different names, even though they look the same in terms of their facial features.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, 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 you're probably talking about the other guy. You know, you saw everything.
That's funny.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of hilarious that
That's a good
they
bit.
incorporated that.
Yeah.
I like that. But it's also just, it's just it's a farming sim on a boat. Like it's a little bit different to just your regular kind of, Stardew Valley style of thing where you just have it on an actual like farm in a town. This is on a boat and you go around from island to island. There's like things to collect. To find. There's like a little bit of puzzle solving here and there. But yeah, it's just very, very wholesome, very cozy. And yeah, you get like a little Loch Ness boat.
Yeah, that's awesome. It comes out tomorrow, I guess, at the time we're recording this.
It does? Oh my gosh.
And I guess, by the time people hear this, I guess it's probably already out. But yeah, it looks like it comes out on March the 12th. Like,
wow. Okay.
And it's coming out on basically everything, it looks like. So yeah. I like that your games are coming soon. I like that the ones you're shouting, it's like March, April. I'm like, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh. I honestly, I didn't even plan it like that either. I'm just like, I like these games. This is what I'm talking about.
I love that. Nice. Yeah, this looks very cute. This is very, I might have to show this one to my partner. I think she would get a kick out of this.
Yeah, it's very cool. I really like the look of this. So I am looking forward to playing it when I get a chance to. Right now, I'm kind of bogged down with a few other games.
Yeah, sure.
And also, life stuff. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to playing Collector's Cove. I'm sure the demo is still there potentially, at least on Steam.
I wonder if it carries over. I wonder if your progress would carry over.
Oh, I can't remember if they mentioned that actually.
Okay.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe it does. I can't remember. If it does, that's pretty cool. That way you don't have to like start from scratch. But if you decide to stick to the same platform, maybe. But I don't know if it probably won't.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But that's okay. Seth, what is your number one demo that you played?
My number one, and the reason I gave this number one over Denshattack is because it completely surprised me. It completely came out of left field. This was one of those games where I heard about this game on Blue Sky. And every now and then, I'm sure you've had this experience before too, where if you make a post about Steam Next Fest on social media, all of a sudden a bunch of indie game developers are, hey, check out my demo. Like they're sliding into the DMs, they're getting into your replies and stuff. And to be clear, I love that. Like I love it when people are putting me on to games. And so this one cropped up on Blue Sky, hey, check this out. It's called Hark the Ghoul. And this is not going to be a koala game, just heads up. This will not be a koala game. Absolutely not. However, I just coming into the demo pretty blind. Like all I had seen was a trailer. I knew that it was going to be like a first person fantasy kind of game. I knew it was going to be kind of like in that kind of From Software, Kingsfield, Dark Souls kind of adjacent. But I was just floored. The more I played the demo, the more impressed I was with the world building of it, the style of it. It kind of has this low poly, PlayStation kind of look to it, but it is through the context of, a first person combat game. But this kick, man, they're showing off the kick in the trailer we're watching right now. What this game reminded me a lot of is a game that's very near and dear to my heart that nobody played, a game called Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, which has one of my favorite combat systems in any game ever. And it's because you're working in these weird physicsy magic and kicking stuff at people and and it's like a mix of an immersive sim and an RPG. It's very intoxicating to me, just figuring out my way through these combat scenarios. In the demo, you fight a boss who has these exploding barrels in the room that you're fighting her in, and the ability to kick an exploding barrel and then shoot it with my gun when it gets close enough to them. It felt great. It has that kind of Bloodborne style vibe to it, that kind of gothic Victorian vibe, but also mixed with a little bit of Hollow Knight. because it's all like bugs and stuff. Very just, I was so taken by like the world of the game, making my own character and getting to choose like their backstory and stuff. I was just immediately, I was like, man, I can't believe that I'd never even heard of this before. It came out of absolutely nowhere, and I vibed with it right away. I love the look of everything. It's gross looking, but I was all about it. Oh yeah, this guy, you have to kick him in the butt to get him unstuck like Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, you have to get him unstuck. Your character, the reason it's called Hark the Ghoul is your character is technically like an undead, like bug.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, just you're seeing now, like, just some of the ways you can kind of navigate the world. Like, you can, they're showing in the trailer, like having this crossbow that can stick like bows into the wall that you can then jump on and use as platforms. Like, that's the sort of thing that like wrinkles my brain and gets my head spinning about like all the possibilities of like the way I can get through this world. And I can't wait to play it. I love it when a demo can just come out of nowhere and I play it. I'm so impressed by it, and it immediately becomes one of my most anticipated games.
That's awesome.
If any of that sounds cool, listeners, check out Hark the Ghoul. I know it won't be for everybody, but man, it is, again, one of my most anticipated of the year. I have no idea when it's coming out. The devs were telling me that they are looking into console versions as well, but right now it's only confirmed for PC, and it's just coming sometime nebulously in 2026.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. Probably not a game for me.
Nope. It will not be a koala game. No.
Not for me. But in saying that, like, there's some really cool elements to the game in terms of its platforming and trying to, as you were saying, navigating, this world, bit of sorcery happening as well.
Yes.
With magic and spells and stuff. And but yeah, like I think I like the animation of the kick. It's like full from the heel as well. It's like
yes,
pushing through.
It's so satisfying. It doesn't go quite as deep as Dark Messiah does. Like in Dark Messiah, you can do the craziest stuff because you can not only can you kick things, you can like pick them up and throw things and like kind of you can set up these crazy like combat situations. But it is the closest a game has given me to that feeling since then. And I anytime you can make first person combat like just a little bit more interesting, that always hooks me. And I'm so intrigued by like the different weapons already. Like in the demo, you can get like a whip, and that like completely changes the way you engage with the game because you have so much more distance now. And I loved it. Totally loved it.
That's cool. Oh my goodness. Well, Seth, my game that the last demo that I want to mention here, is kind of, it's for a game that, okay, I'm just going to say it. It's Moomintroll Winter's Warmth.
This topped your list. Let's go.
This topped my list, yes.
I love that.
I really enjoyed this game's demo.
Another one that's coming soon. I think that's in April. Look at you go.
I haven't played Snufkin.
Neither have I.
Of Moomin Valley. I haven't played that one. But for whatever reason, the idea of playing as a Moomin kind of tickled me. And
yes.
I remember Moomins as a child.
Yes.
I don't think I was really deep into it when I was growing up, but I just do remember them, maybe like in storybooks and stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
But when I played through this demo, it was really cute, but it still had some creepy vibes to it when you first started off. But I was just so intrigued by the art style, the way it was telling the story. The poor Moomintroll is just like trying to navigate this cold world. It's supposed to be, hibernating with his family.
Right. Yeah.
But all he wants to do is help, his fellow animal friends, and it's really sweet. And I love that he, he's apparently supposed to be, he's a summer Moomin.
Right.
And yeah, I kind of like that the first ability you start off with is you light a match and you use that as like your torch to navigate this dark house to find out what's going on in the house. And then, you find yourself startled by a squirrel. So it's really sweet. I really enjoyed playing through it. And it's got like this sort of hand-drawn kind of an art style
beautiful
look to it. And I love it. The music also gets you very in the mood as well, and just immersed into this game. And I was just really floored after playing through this demo, and I thought, you know what, I could probably play through this game, and there's probably going to be some emotional beats to it as well, for sure. I can already foresee it. But I love it. It looks so cool and just really cute. Yeah, and I'm a sucker for narrative games, so I know this one's going to have a really good story too. So
it'll have a good story. It definitely has that kind of like classic, like children's fairy tale storybook kind of vibe to it. Like Moomin has that kind of, there's something about it. Like it's kind of nostalgic. It's kind of whimsical, but it can also get like emotional and a little more serious to it. Yeah, I never I remember the animated show when I was a kid. Like I remember seeing that, and I think Moomin, it's either like Swedish, or I think it's from some Scandinavian country in origin, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's Danish or something. But anyway, we got like the animated series over here as a kid, and I remember watching some of that and just really liking just the designs of the characters and kind of endearing myself to that little world. And yeah, like this one, I played the demo for this too, and I enjoyed it too. It was definitely, I didn't know what to expect, like, because I also did not play Snufkin, so I don't know how similar this is to Snufkin, but this is very much like you're navigating through the world. You're kind of like helping people and, solving little problems and stuff like this. I'm going to be really curious to see how like the story goes and like the sort of like different turns the narrative is going to take, because playing as this character who, like you said, they're a child. They're supposed to be hibernating like their parents are. Yeah. And they're kind of like forced to, go out into the world when they're not supposed to. That's just the perfect like setup for a coming of age, sort of story. Like that's the perfect setup for that. And yeah, a little bit of emotion. The stuff that happens with that squirrel, I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is sad. Right? It is. Yeah. And I like, Moomin is kind of in the middle of like a little bit of a renaissance. They have an animated Moomin movie that they're working on that's being written and directed by Rebecca Sugar from Steven Universe. And I'm like, oh, yes, I'm so ready for this. So yeah, this comes out at like the end of April. So yeah, like this is another one. It's coming soon. It's coming out on Steam and Switch. This is definitely on my radar to play when it comes out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. I feel like this would be really good. I'm hoping it's going to be, Steam Deck verified, because I'd love to play this on Steam Deck.
I'm sure it is.
Because I feel like it'd be really nice to play handheld. But yeah, I'm just really just taken aback by this story and the characters. It's really sweet, but yeah, it just also has some dark elements to it. So so it's not too cozy.
I find that my favorite my favorite stuff, especially when you're tapping into this kind of vibe, finds itself at the cross section of cozy but also a little bit scary. Like like I'm thinking of stuff like Secret of Nim and stuff like that, where like it's cozy and cute, but also it's a little messed up, and like that's the stuff that I felt like I liked a lot when I was a kid, and Moomin definitely kind of taps into that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Seth, we've gone through our top 5. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I have a few that we haven't covered already, and I'll just be quick about them. You turned me on to this demo, Shoe It All. Is it Shoe It All? Yeah. You turned me on to that. I played that demo, and I gotta say, I really liked it. I had a really good time with that demo.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, like really all it is you're this kid on like a swing and you're just like flinging your shoes off to try to hit stuff with it. But I found myself getting really into it because yet again, it has that replayability where it's like, here's some challenges, try to get this with like the minimum number of shoes and try to do this.
Do it in a certain amount of time.
Yeah. And so that's, again, it's a cheat code. That's how you get my attention. I wound up 100%ing that demo.
Wow.
And I full cleared every level in the demo, even the secret bonus level. So this immediately made it to the wish list, and I was like, yeah, I'm obviously going to play this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Fulya. I would not have heard about it if not for you. So yeah, I really liked that. I'll give a quick shout to Bobo Bay, which I also played on stream. It's also coming out very soon in April. This is basically somebody said, if Sega's not going to make Chow Gardens come back from Sonic Adventure, then I'll just do it myself. Very cute, very cozy, raising these cute little creatures and stuff. Looking forward to that. This is one where your progress in the demo carries into the full game. So there's that. That is nice. I did not play this as part of Steam Next Fest, but I know it does have a Steam Next Fest demo, but Forbidden Solitaire is one of my most anticipated for the rest of the year. It is...
I've been hearing a lot about that game.
It's a solitaire game, but it's interesting because it's set up like a kind of like haunted like 90s PC game or something like that. Very into the vibe of that. I'm excited to play that whenever it comes out. And then the last quick shout I'll make is Parasite Mutant, which is again just a fine I'll do it myself situation where if Square Enix not going to make another Parasite Eve game, we'll make a new Parasite Eve game. And I really enjoyed it. Very much taps into that kind of Parasite Eve. If you like Parasite Eve, you should be excited for Parasite Mutant. So
okay, very nice. Well, a few shout outs, honorable mentions that I'd like to say here for my Steam Next Fest demos that I've played. Dodo Duckie. Now, that game goes from 2D to 3D, and it's so
love
cool.
It. Well, Super Paper Mario energy. I love that.
Kind of. Although I haven't played that game, so I can't make that comparison. But I love that you have to flip between the two views in order to do certain types of platforming, or to get to certain places in the areas that you are at. And you have it's an important element of the game. So the fact that you have to switch between the 2D and the 3D aspects.
I'm watching this trailer. This is literally Super Paper Mario. Yeah.
It's so cool. I just, the switching also feels very smooth. So there's no kind of jank to it. It's just like you switch, you're in that view. And you can only do certain things within 3D and certain things when you're in 2D.
Yes.
And I kind of like that. So this one is definitely sticking around on my wish list, and I'm really looking forward to
doing
that
it right
one.
now. Yep.
Another one that I want to mention is Phonopolis.
I've heard about this.
Yes, this one's been on my wish list for I think like a couple of years now, because I've just been waiting for the time when they can when they brought out a demo. This was the time. And as soon as I found out this was part of Steam Next Fest, I immediately downloaded the demo to play it. It is a hand-drawn, hand-painted, cardboard-style looking world. And it's the demo doesn't go for very long. It's actually it's really short. It's I think it's about 20 to maybe less than 20 minutes long. But it just gives you a small sense of what to expect from the game. and it's essentially the story is just this world where these megaphones, they're brainwashing everybody by saying things through these megaphones, and your protagonist ends up finding a pair of earmuffs and ends up blocking out the sounds of those megaphones, and
So they're like the
you
one
end up doing your own thing.
non-brainwashed.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're able to sort of traverse the world and not have to worry about being forced to do things because of what the megaphones are like telling you to do. But you also have to be aware of it's kind of set in this like medieval kind of looking world, and you have to be aware of the guards because they'll obviously come after you because you don't want to stand out too much, because if you do, then they'll notice you immediately. Right. So there is a little bit of like sneaking around that you have to do, but it's like puzzle driven. So there's puzzles that you have to solve, and it's got a really cool soundtrack as well. So I think you might enjoy this one, Seth.
Okay.
The music's really cool.
Nice. I'm into it. Yeah. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. I have not played the demo myself yet, but yeah, this has been getting some attention. People have been high on it. Yeah.
And another cool thing that they did with this demo is they added in the making of video into the demo.
Cool. Yeah.
So once you were done with, playing through the demo, you can then go and watch the making of, and it's really interesting to just see the way that they created this world. And I love behind the scenes stuff like that. So that definitely like put it a little bit higher up on my on my wish list.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one other one that I want to mention is for a game called Find Your Words.
I also played this. Yes.
It's a cute little game about a child who has trouble communicating or speaking. So you are playing as that child, and you're communicating through a folder that has words, and you have to discover more words to then form, not necessarily sentences, but when you're interacting with other children at this camp, you point to a word or a couple of words, and that child will be like, "Oh, you mean this?" and they kind of understand what you're trying to say. So it's like this really cool way of like it's a word game. So you're trying to find different things at this campsite or at the beach, and you're finding things to add words to your folder so that you can use them to interact with, all of the children at this camp. I found that very endearing, and it's something that I will not understand myself because I never grew up like that. But it's nice to see that it's being, put into the forefront of players and just media in general, because there are people out there who have trouble communicating, and
yes.
It's unfortunate, especially as a child. It must be very frustrating to not be able to get what you want to say out of your head because you just can't find those words. So that's why I kind of found this one to be really, really cool. So find your words.
Yeah, I'm excited to play the full version of that too. The demo, it's one of those demos that every now and then you'll find one like this where you'll be playing it and it's like, we'll play more in the full game.
Yeah.
I found myself bumping into that a whole bunch, but I love the conceit. I love the concept. I have a cousin who is mostly nonverbal, and he learns sign language, so he communicates a lot that way. But yeah, a lot of nonverbal kids like this idea of like a communication binder where you can find these like almost symbols that represent words, and you can use that to kind of talk to the other kids and get them to understand you. And so a lot of the kind of hook of the game is finding new words to be able to further communicate with people. Very charming, very I like a game that will get me to experience something that is new to me, that
Yes.
can get me to empathize or connect to somebody else's struggles through game mechanics. Like I love that. So
yeah, absolutely. Same here. But those are the Steam Next Fest demos we played during the event. Let us know what Steam Next Fest demos you guys have played, because we would love to hear it. And maybe it might be some demos in there that we haven't seen before and might end up on our wish list.
Almost certainly, because there are a million demos during these things. So
absolutely. And for those of you who are interested, I did create a list of all of the other Steam Next Fest demos I played in my backlog profile.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I've kind of put them all into one little sort of list on my profile. So if you are interested, I will have a link to that in the show notes. And I will share it in a Discord as well if you would like to see it. Because there are quite a few other ones in that list that I didn't mention that you might be interested in. So
love that.
But thank you for joining us on this detour. We hope you enjoyed the ride. And now, Seth, where can everybody find you on the internet?
A bunch of places. Blue Sky, $2 Hero. For listeners of this show, my YouTube channel is probably a good place to go. I'm also $2 Hero on YouTube. It's just my name, Seth Sturgill, but the URL is $2 Hero. And yeah, I cover a ton of indie games on my YouTube channel. So check me out over there. And of course, here on Carpool Gaming, I'm one of the co-hosts of the Nintendo Drive as well. So if you like Nintendo, or really even if you don't, just come hang out on the Nintendo. We talk about everything under the sun. We just kind of hang out. It's good, cozy vibes. I do a lot of the Patreon exclusive content like Campfire, as we mentioned earlier, for Carpool. So I also have a video game music podcast called Bit Harmony, which you can check out if you are into video game music, or again, really even if you're not, because it's just kind of chill vibes. So yeah, I do a lot of stuff. Thank you for having me on the show, Fulya. I love the show, and it's always just a treat to get to share indie games with people. It's something I'm really passionate about, and I know that it's a shared passion with you. So yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. And I love having you on the show as well, because this is just something I like to do, is just like discuss all these amazing indie games with like-minded people like yourself. But as for me, you can find me in the Carpool Discord. Sometimes I jump onto the other Carpool shows, depending on what's happening. But most of the time, you are going to see me here on the Mini Indie Van. I also do Twitch streams. I have my own YouTube channel as well at Foolish Fuji. I'm also on Blue Sky and Instagram with the same handle. But for everything else, and for a couple of the other podcasts that I do, check out foolishfuji.com. And yeah, because I do a couple of pop culture podcasts as well. So if you want to check those out, head on over to my website. And yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Have a good one, everyone. See you next time. Bye.